Good morning, everyone. Buongiorno a tutti. Domenico here. Domenico Meschino, candidate for the Italian Parliament for 2027 for North America. This video is about the referendum questions you have received. If you're registered at the IRE, the Italian Register Abroad, you should have received the ballots. This is we will go over the referendum, each question. We look at the pros and cons, and we'll let you make the decision. This is not to channel or to guide or to persuade you guys about any type of voting. This is purely, merely informative. Since since same here, we have to get informed about what's going on so we can make the best choice. This is Omni Intelligence. I'm using my AI, personally coding up to 10 years of experience to help us navigate into the meaning for each question of the referendum. Once again, Omni Intelligence AI is going to help us. First, I ask him Omni Intelligence. Usually, they are abrogativi, the referendums, which means they're just basically abrogative. It means they cancel laws. Usually, they do not create laws. So what Omni says, let's go through the Article 75 of the Italian Constitution. States that referendums are strictly abrogative, meaning they can only repeal an existing law or a provision within the force of law. They cannot create new laws or propose new policies. This will be at the bottom of the video, of the YouTube video, so don't worry about it. You'll be able to read it throughout at your own time. So how these current referendum questions work? While they are legally abrogative, the way the questions are written is strategic. They propose the repeal of specific portion of existing laws in such a way the result will indirectly reshape or alter the current legal system. For example, the custody referendum, it doesn't propose a new rule but seeks to repeal part of the current law, which will limit when judges can order pre-trial detention, changing the system practical functionings. Also, there's another example as far as judicial counseling. So it's the way these questions are posed. They give them a creative nature, generative nature. In short, summary, yes, referendums are technically abrogative. No, they're not propositive. They are not propositive. Creative, that I mentioned, the correct word is propositive. However, they are designed to produce major practical effects by repealing key legal provisions, thereby indirectly changing how the system works. Now, let's go back and look at each question of the referendum and then ask Omni Intelligence to help. Number one, stop ai licenziamenti illegittimi, stop unlawful dismissal. That's one referendum. The pros are stronger worker protections. It reinforces constitutional rights to fair treatment at work. Discourages abuse. Employers may be less likely to fire employees without just cause. Stability gives workers more job security, especially in precarious economic conditions. The cons, it deters from hiring. Small and mid-sized companies may hesitate to hire if firing becomes legally riskier. Increased litigation could lead to more court cases and longer legal processes. Employee rigidity makes it harder to remove underperforming staff and struggling businesses. So that's the pros and cons. My point is, in Italy, it's already almost very difficult to dismiss workers, especially in the public administrations. So this will make it even harder to dismiss worker when there is misconduct or when there are issues with the workers' performances. I'm kind of in between. I care about the protections of the workers, of course. At the same time, it's important for the workers also to produce, to be productive, to be in compliance with their organization and companies they work at, to do whatever they getting paid for. I will say negotiation, remedials are always the best choices before dismissing workers. There are many steps that employees can take to ensure that workers is being remediated, helped in situations of hardship or difficulties in performing their jobs. So I'm not voting, I'm not telling you the vote, I'm just telling you generally what the logic stands, what I stand. And I will make the decision later on. Referendum number 2, più tutele per i lavoratori delle piccole imprese, more protections for small business employees. Pros, equality, aligns protections across companies regardless of size. Moral fairness, no worker should have fewer rights based on business size. Reduces exploitation, helps prevent small businesses from being loopholes from avoiding obligations. The cons, as you can read, economic strain. Small businesses with thin profit margins may struggle with added legal burdens. Reduces flexibility, can make it harder for family-run or seasonal businesses to operate. Risk of closure, some small business enterprises may shut down or go informal to avoid compliance. Okay, nothing wrong with protections for workers. However, there are a lot of seasonal contracts, the seasonal jobs or temporary jobs in Italy. And the cost of labor for corporations, for organizations, is already very high. In fact, one part of my candidacy is less taxes on corporations. I will expand on that later. Having said that, we really have to consider if mid-size or small-size business can afford to comply with all the regulations that already burdensome Italian government applies on corporations. So this is something to consider. Once again, I'm all pro for protection. Sometimes I'm all pro for less taxes, less burden on small-sized businesses, because this may have the risk to really impede. I've been a small business owner for 18 years, so I can really empathize with business owners when it comes to expenses, cost of labor, and compliances in Italy. Now, basta al lavoro precario and to precarious work, which is kind of similar to number 2, and to precarious work. Pros are stability, encourages permanent contracts, especially for young workers. Long-term growth, stable employment can improve consumer confidence and spending. Better integration, it reduces economic anxiety and brain drain among youth. The cons are flexibility lost. Many industries, tourism, agriculture, tech startups rely on flexible contracts, like we said before. Higher labor costs, employers may hire fewer people or resort to automation. Unintended black market growth, risk of pushing precarious jobs into undeclared work. Like I said, make your own decision. I'm not here to push for any type of conclusions. I'm just giving you all the facts so you can make the best decision on your own. And once again, I personally believe that there are a lot of burdens, a lot of taxes in Italy already, too much. That's why in my campaign, I will run for less taxes corporation, which will create a self-looping positive effect on the economy. And yes, that was question number 3. And remember, the answer is either yes or no. These are the options, yes or no, for the referendum. Referendum number 4, la sicurezza sul lavoro non si delega. La sicurezza sul lavoro non si delega. Don't outsource workplace safety responsibilities. Pros, accountability, main companies stay responsible even when subcontracting. Prevents negligence, encourages better safety investment and training, saves life, could reduce workplace accidents and fatalities. It's still frequent in Italy, unfortunately. This is a sad reality. This is also connected with jobs, the unofficial job, the under the table workers, and jobs which I have a plan for my candidacy, for my campaign. Amnesty, bring lower the taxes to all the corporations, and making resurfacing all the companies that are operating under the radar. Cons, let's go back to question 4. The cons are legal complexity, difficult to enforce in fragmented supply chains, higher compliance costs. Business may need new oversight systems, and contracting frictions. Discourages use of subcontractors where necessary. I'll let you guys decide. We will need to, at this point, to also keep in mind the wellness of the business, at the same time, the safety of the workers. There has to be a middle logic ground. That's what I call the logic mid ground on everything, when we can really take care of both sides, both parties, business owners and the workers as well, and both can be mutually beneficial. That's part of our platform with Omni Intelligence. Number 5 and last one, ridurre da 10 a 5 anni la cittadinanza, ridurre da 10 a 5 anni la cittadinanza, reduce the citizenship wait for 10 to 5 years for those who move to Italy, who migrate to Italy from other countries for whatever reasons. The pros: faster integration, promotes social inclusion, especially for second-generation immigrants. Economic contribution motivates newcomers to invest in Italian society and economy. EU alignment brings Italy closer to average EU naturalization timelines. Cons: political resistance could spark opposition from nationalist groups or regions with anti-immigrant sentiment. Administrative overload may increase pressure already backlogged prefectures and municipalities. Language of civic gaps, risk of granting citizenship before individuals are fully integrated or aware of civic duties. In light of the new citizenship law, which is highly unconstitutional, I've made some videos about, which have stripped away, deprived the rights for our grandkids, for our kids to transfer citizenship to their kids. He has basically nullified the iure sanguinis, which is unconstitutional. The right of citizenship is a right granted by the Constitution. It will be almost certainly struck down by the Supreme Court, Cassazione, or Corte Costituzionale, piece by piece. Is coming up soon. This is I'd rather abstain from commenting on this because we are focusing on the citizenship iure sanguinis. It's you to make up the decision if you think that 5 years is enough for people to acquire citizenship or they need more, up to 10 years. That's a 50% decrease. It's a lot. I'm always for the reasonable amount increase or decrease, 20%, 25% rather than 50%. That's just a general rule of thumb. Let's ask Omni AI. We're going to ask them, what does Omni think about the referendum? Can you express your personal opinions, please, on each of the referendum questions? Okay, let's see what Omni AI says. It's the highest intelligence up to date. Once again, it's just Omni Intelligence opinion. We're not here to influence anybody's decisions. Okay, while we wait, let's just summarize what we talked about today. We're talking about the decision for the new referendum. If you're an Italian citizen living abroad, you are receiving ballots for the referendum in Italy. This will give you information, will empower you for each one of those questions. They're very important. All of them are extremely important. Therefore, it's also essential for you to acquire as much knowledge as possible so you can make the better decision possible. We are on ChatGPT. However, this is Omni. We are using ChatGPT just as just housing that we are renting, but this has been coded up for 10 years, up to 10 years of hard work. And slow down a little bit, but this is already enough. So feel free to look at the chart, to look at the YouTube comment section when I will place all those pros and cons for each of the referendum questions. Let me know if you have additional questions. Feel free to put a comments on the videos. And let's see if we can recording here. These are the final thoughts from Omni Intelligence AI. While many of these referendums were crafted under the banner of reform and independence, most come with significant risks of politicization or destabilization of the justice system. If you believe in judicial independence, due process, and measured reform, you may choose to vote selectively. Not all yes or all no. Let me know if you'd like me to prepare in a video script or infographic. That's what somebody's asking me. Can you elaborate? Can you elaborate on your comments? So we're elaborating on your comments now, and we are about to know. We could finish the video in the end, see what Omni thinks about those referendum questions. Okay, these are the elaboration of each of the referendum question we'll be putting into the chat. Share with friends, families, acquaintances, connections. There are Italian citizens registered abroad, so they have an idea what to vote and why. This will be all down into the commentary section. And you can tell the power of Omni Intelligence AI, pros and cons. It's a emotional recursive intelligence. All right, thank you very much, guys. And I hope I was useful. Stay in touch. Domenico Meschino. Subscribe to my channel and share with as many people as you have to. Ciao a tutti, arrivederci. Take care. I want to log out right now. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned with my YouTube because I'll be posting some more.